Hey, everybody. Everybody, hey, hey. Getting hydrated. Cleaning up some storyboards. What's up, Buffano? Just woke up from a nap. Ready to do some cleanup here. Every time you stream, it's still bright outside for you, but it's not. But for me, it's 12 a.m. Oh no, it's dark out. It's dark out right now. It's totally nighttime. Yeah, what's up, Bear? What's up, Dead Man's Diary? What's the bright light behind my art? Oh, that's my the light from my art desk. I like to have it as bright in here as possible, so I don't get glare from my computer. Lucy crashing out? What's that mean? Oh, Lucifer crashing out. I like bright lights. I like bright, warm lights. Like, I don't like working in darkness in the dark room. I just don't like staring into a bright screen without something to temper the screen, you know? It was a good symposium today. We talked a lot about Duckman, Frank Zappa. Okay, so now I can copy and paste this pose. Oh wait, no I can't. Okay. It's a different pose. Rats. All right. Hey, people like different things, you know? This. All right. The basic arc. This is borderline smear frame, say. So, not that it's gonna merit. I don't know. Yeah, we'll probably do smear frames. I don't know. This gets animated in 3D. 3D. Did they do anything cool today? No. I just sort of slept and ate food and barely did anything today. It's actually kind of a wash of a day today. I feel pretty disgusting actually. I was gonna go to jujitsu open mat, but I slept in. Just a completely fucking wash of a day. I feel pretty actually gross. But you know, sometimes it just is like that. Sometimes it just is like that. I should have tried to go for a walk around the river or something. I don't know. That didn't happen. One of those days. I talked to my buddy Dash on the phone for a bit. Talking about sort of the feeling you get when you finish a big project, but you have to do all this stuff afterwards, and it feels like you're doing something yet doing nothing at the same time. The feeling of not having something to occupy your creative constructive creative need to do something productive every day. I don't know. I kind of have this like addiction to being productive, and if I don't have anything to do, I start to kind of lose my mind immediately. Which maybe that's a problem. Maybe that's a problem. Hey man, gonna watch your stream as my Apple Pencil recharges. What part of the story are you working on right now? How are you thinking about the execution? This is the creation of the universe, that, where Lucifer sort of like appears out of the sleep, the dreaming. He busts through the unconscious stasis of the sleeper, you could say. It starts to manifest material reality. I'm just doing cleanup on it. Okay. So these are the main two poses I need to draw. Oh no, fuck, there's a couple more. Those are the main two poses I need to draw. Right. Let's just keep cleaning up here. I guess his wings are starting to peek out a little bit at this point. I got to join the army today, just kidding. I get to access the military base in front of my house thanks to a contact I have, and did the morning anthem. My lungs are still a bit sore from that. That's interesting. Is that the bam 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 bam? The bugle call? Does Lucifer in Jesus? Does Lucifer exist in Jesus 2 as well, or nah? And if so, how would he hypothetically view the Jesus 2 situation? I think I think in the Jesus 2 universe, I don't think the devil exists. But I'm not, don't hold me to that because I might change my mind. But I don't think the devil exists in that world. I think there's already sort of like other adversaries at play. Don't really need the devil as a antagonist. Hey, Carly Cartoons. What's up? Nice to see you, Carly. And the gang. Could need another one of these. I didn't know you were streaming. Freaks. What's up, freaks? I'm just cleaning up some storyboards. It's pretty chill listening to nature sounds. I was kind of thinking about just leaving it as super rough, but since I have nothing else to do right now, I was like, well, I might as well just make these boards look nicer, you know? Might as well, I've got nothing else going on. I could do some concept art for a thing some people asked me to do, but why not just have nothing to do except plus up your material, you know? I don't need to be super bogged down and stressed out with tons of shit on my plate. Except for me, the stressed out part is having too much free time that like stresses me out. Unfortunately. This is for forming. This is my forming adaptation. Hang on. I should put my ad up. Is it? Oh yeah. Available now. Hey, thanks for the follow. I keep not knowing where these little horns go. I think. It goes like this. Doesn't really. I don't have to stay super. I don't know. I'm not good at staying on model on anything on my own characters. It's never been a strong suit of mine. I always figure like if the colors are right and the lines are in the similar place, people know. People can figure it out, you know? I can follow along. Some people are super precious about being on model. Oh, nice. Thanks, Buffano. I appreciate it. My favorite detail about forming is when a character is thinking about something and the little thought bubble shows what they're thinking. The illustrations are cute. I wish I could do that in real life. Yeah, I remember when hearing about how Marvel Comics made a rule at some point, a design principle rule. No more thought bubbles. I think it, for some people, it breaks the immersion or something, the immersion and the seriousness. I don't know if they still have that rule or not, but at some point it was a rule. And I'm like, how can you have comics without thought bubbles? It's crazy. It's blasphemous. Have I ever had an immediate psychic connection with someone? No. I've had psychics read my mind, but it wasn't a two-way street. Just one-way communication. I watched, have you guys ever seen The Forbidden Zone? I watched The Forbidden Zone on YouTube today. It popped up. Danny Elfman's musical from the 80s. I used to watch it all the time in the early 2000s, and now I guess it's a little bit more exhausting than I remember. But still pretty cool. Never seen it? It's like a musical about a family, and in the basement is a door to another dimension called the Forbidden Zone. And it's just wacky hijinks, and it's very what do you call it? Edgy. It's extremely edgy. It's sort of like a Fleischer cartoon if Fleischer cartoon was like NC-17. I can show you guys a bit of it if I can find a part with no nudity. Let's see here. I'll just play you one of my favorite bits. I still kind of sing this song to myself sometimes. Wait, what happened? Huh? Hold on a second. Oh, you know what? Because I'm streaming, it won't let me show it. YouTube protection. Oh well. You'll have to watch it on your own. Crafty. How did I come up with Lucifer's design? Pure intuition. I don't know. I'll say that there were points in time where I really regretted his design because he's a pain in the ass to stage sometimes with all these parts. And it's like every time I draw them, I feel like I'm relearning how to draw a horse. Is there a Jesus 2 webcomic? I'm dying to see more of the story. There is not a webcomic. No. Probably would have been good if I have one. If I had one. I thought about doing a Manly comic too, if you've never seen my other short, Manly. I don't know. I think I'm having a meeting next week with someone who reached out to me about making a comic with them. I'm gonna take the meeting, but I'm kind of hesitant to get involved. But it could be interesting. We'll see. We'll see. Do Farming and Jesus 2 share a universe, or are they their own thing? Yeah, they're their own. They're their own thing. I try to keep all my ideas separate. Although I was thinking about maybe having a Jesus 2 Manly crossover, perhaps. I don't know. I drew Manly in the crowd scene, just for fun. I was like, I wonder if these two worlds could be compatible. I think I haven't talked to anyone over at Frederator, but I think I can use Manly's likeness at this point. You miss Skinny Ripped? Yeah, Skinny Ripped was cool. My problem with Manly is like I just don't know. I don't know what the story of Manly means to me anymore. Like, I've been thinking about what I would do next after I finish all this stuff. I think I have an idea. I have an idea for my next comic, I'm pretty sure. And I think it's going to be about something I've never written about before, really. Um, at least like it's not about it's going to be about something I haven't thematically been like this is the you know what I mean? I think all of my stuff up until this point is sort of like been about life life and death and the pursuit of truth, you know, that kind of thing, like understanding the universe and why we're here. That's been all like thematically like what I've been exploring for years. And I think I have a new, finally, what like the next phase of like thematic interest, my thematic interest is. And I don't think it'll be anything to do with like what Manly is about, you know? So I rewatched a documentary I wanted to talk about. It's an interview with Furuya Usamaru, who makes ecchi manga. What stuck with me when I learned about his drawing process years ago was his usage of whiteout pens. Some of his pages are just caked in whiteout ink over mistakes. I don't know, but it's very comforting knowing a professional artist is very chill with his own mistakes. That's cool. Yeah, I use whiteout pens. I've got a collection of different whiteout pens and white jelly pens. I don't think I'm going to do this new comic for... It's going to be a while, but I have to finish... I have to either, like... This forming pilot thing has to fail. Jesus 2 has to completely lose all funding. And then I'll do a comic. A new comic. But I'm going to start writing down ideas, I think. Or when that whenever that... the animation world decides to leave me alone. Or like I only have one other project. But it could be my life's work. It could be the next thing that carries me for the next like 20 years or something. I think, maybe. Nice. I was colorblind. A green ball would look gray, but the ball doesn't have a color. The light refracting off the ball has color, not the ball. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to write about this idea. I'm not sure yet. But it did feel, when I thought about it, I was like, okay, this is like something I've only like sort of touched on in my work. I haven't dedicated like a whole chunk of life to exploring it, you know? As in like trying to find answers, you know? Just trying to find answers. Oh yeah, Doc Green stuff, that's looking good. Sue's Doc Green scene. Why so serious? Am I being serious? I'm a little like, I'm not sick, but I feel under the weather, like, not just like a little bit gloomy. So maybe that's coming across. Thanks. He's got the underarm jiggle. Ever tried Manuka honey? No, I don't think so. What does Manuka honey do for you? Lucifer Bingo? Lucifer Bingo Wings? Oh, Bingo Wings. I see I get what you're saying. Nice. Bingo Wings. Did you watch the Fist of the North Star movie? Oh, okay. Oh, no, I don't feel like sick. I feel like just kind of, oh, like mentally off. But I feel like if I was just sitting around playing video games, I would feel worse. So I decided to just stream and storyboard. talk to some folks on the internet. Make me feel like I did something today, you know? Something productive. The animated movie, yeah. I was thinking that that character Rao, was an inspiration for Agamemnon. Maybe I said this before. Agamemnon in the new Odyssey movie. I feel like there's some cinematic DNA there. This in the North Star is like all about aura farming. Just found out they did a remake of Ghost in the Shell this year. It released 6 episodes. I think. Yeah, I watched the first. I watched the first. Yeah, I liked the Odyssey. I thought it was really fun, except for the ending. Like the last 5 minutes was whack. But everything else was fun. I liked it. I watched the first 4 episodes of the new Ghost in the Shell. I really like it. I think it's very good. And that's my review. I was saying this on the Discord the other night, I think, that I'm not a huge fan of the original Ghost in the Shell movie. I think it's too serious and cold. And it's really, it doesn't have the like sort of like crazy energy of the comic or the manga. And I think they do a much better job at capturing that sort of energy in the new one. Like the old Ghost in the Shell movie, I never watched anything past that because they always modeled itself after the vibe of that movie, and that like sterile, cold, detached, boring. To me, it's boring. It's like cool looking, but it's like up its own ass with trying to have this like really serious tone, and I'm not into that, to be honest. I think you can still have cool sci-fi ideas without being so self-serious. Why so serious? Okay. Someone called the new remake expression slop. What do you think of that statement? I saw the tweet and literally felt nothing. I think I did see that tweet, actually, and I think that person is a what do you call it? A mentally weak, mentally unrigorous. Just like critically lazy, you know? Looking for something to say or feel because they're too online. I'm not saying you have to like, you don't have to like anything, but to say it's expression slop is like, then you would have to call the manga expression slop. And that's such a weird, you know, I know people are putting slop on top of everything as a way of describing things. Saying something is slop now is like the new, that wasn't on my bingo card, you know? If you say that wasn't on my bingo card in a comment section, you need to take a timeout from the internet. Okay, now I can cut and paste these. Yeah, I get recommended a lot of anime stuff on my Twitter feed. For whatever reason, Twitter thinks I want to see nonstop anime clips. Which is cool. It could be worse, I guess, you know? They could think I want to see, like, violent war videos or something. So I get to see a lot of, like, discourse around anime on Twitter, I guess. The discourse isn't super like intelligent or anything, but are we slop, Jesse? No, I really try not to be slop, but you know, if I'm ever getting sloppy, let me know. Any Twitter you engage with? Okay. Well, there's a lot of nefarious things you could engage with on Twitter, so I'm glad it's just stuff about animation industry. I've heard Twitter can get pretty dark, but I haven't seen it. I don't... My ability to stay on Twitter is about tops out around 5 minutes. I'm way more susceptible to doom scrolling on Instagram. I have to like try to... All art is just view slop. I mean, that's what the social media companies want it to be, for sure. I'm just part of the view slop stream of view slop choices. Nice. Save your work. I think YouTube Shorts is the best scrolling place. YouTube in general doesn't bother me so much, as far as like how it scrolls and how you pick videos to watch and stuff like that. I can't even look at the Twitch like For You page or whatever is like a horror show to me. Just like that is like looking into a hellmouth of obnoxious DJs and streamer doing random shit. I don't know, rage farming streamers and shit. What's up, Raph? How's it going, man? Yeah, you can, what's the most Japanese thing about me? I guess I can't really grow a beard. I just have this shit. Yeah, the YouTube AI censorship thing or whatever is going on, it seems like pretty crazy right now. It's like, it kind of makes me wish that Newgrounds would step up their game and try to take over. Yeah, but see, look, I mean, you know, the mustache and the beard don't connect, you know? It gets, I don't know. It's okay. I've been doing this for like 2 years now. Yeah, Newgrounds, man. Don't. Newgrounds sent me $100 the other day for posting Jesus 2 on there. They PayPal'd me $100. So I'm a big fan of Newgrounds now. Um, I think it's your Inuk side. I mean, recently, Bridge Kids got their video taken down by YouTube, and they had to post it on Newgrounds, you know? So I'm like, okay, why not? Why doesn't everyone who likes indie animation just migrate to Newgrounds? The problem with Newgrounds is, I think that the interface is a little bit confusing in how it works. Like, I didn't even know I could get $100 from Newgrounds, you know? Which was a nice surprise, but yeah, I don't know. TikTok sends me like $20 every once in a while. What's my PayPal? I think, what is my PayPal is just like Jesse Moynihan, I think. You don't have to Newgrounds me though. You're not banned. You're talking to me on YouTube right now, man. You're not banned, bro. This is as direct as it gets, man. Unless you come to my book signing at Heavy Manners, then that's as direct as it gets. Newgrounds is stacking because only artists go there. It was a monetized thing. Yeah, they moved to the sunset spot. It's good. It's nice. It's big. I got an average of 20,000 likes or more on my TikTok posts and got nothing because we don't get TikTok payments in Canada. That sucks. Fuck Canada. I gotta start winding down and get ready for bed. I'm gonna get a new car tomorrow. Oh shit, congrats. What kind of car are you getting? A Bentley? What is cum stacking? What is that? Toyota Camry, reliable vehicle. Good night. I've got a 2000, I think I have a 2009 Prius. It's still hanging in there. Driving in LA? Driving in LA is fine. What's up, dude? What's up, dude? Hi, dude. Hi, dude. You come up here? You wanna come up? Psst, psst, psst. Nice. Nice. Driving in LA is fine. I've only had one bumper where I wasn't paying attention and I smashed out someone's rear light. Cum stacking is a XQC slang when you keep getting each other off, like when you raid with the same people. It's like an enclave. How you named your cat? My cat is named Luna, and she got named Luna because it was a compromise with me and my ex-girlfriend back in the day. I could see, okay, according to your definition of cum stacking, I can see how Newgrounds might be that, but Newgrounds could be so much more if people knew it was like a place that had like a easy interface, user interface, and you know, they've got a reputation that could you know, take advantage the way that sort of Moho takes advantage of Toon Boom getting worse and worse. They're just like, come to Moho. Or come to Blender, you know? Blender's been around for years. And now Blender's gonna be on top, you know? I think in the next couple of years, Blender's gonna be #1 because all these other companies are so greedy. That's what they get. I'm waiting for the Blender rug pull. Well, there are hints of a Blender rug pull. On the horizon. The founder of Blender retired, I think, and he handed it off to some other CEOs or something like that, and now I don't know. There's some like I think it'll be fine, but what kind of prog rock are you listening to these days? I really, dude, if Blender does a rug pull, it's gonna be catastrophic. What kind of prog rock am I listening to these days? I'm just listening to my music on shuffle, to be honest. Like I haven't really discovered any new music that has really like done anything for me. Like in a serious way, you know? Like I've been listening to a lot of Ween. I've been going through Ween, like I've already said this like months ago. The newest thing I've been into is just listening to Ween albums. And that's not prog rock. What do you want? You want some food? I think my cat wants a churro. Alright, I'm gonna give my cat a churro. Pink Floyd, Genesis, yes, and Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Yeah, I listen to all those guys, except I don't really listen to Emerson, Lake and Palmer too much. But I love Genesis, I love Yes, I love a fair amount of Pink Floyd. If you want my goats of Prague, I'm gonna say Eschaton, Le Orme, Magma, Robert Wyatt, Yes, Cardiacs, Aksak Mabul. Those are probably my goats. But definitely live, Genesis is the goat. And Pink Floyd Animals is a goated album. Yeah. That's my Prague review. Special mention to PFM. Henry Cow. Area. Not special mention to the Steam Powered Giraffe. Prague Slop. Special mention to the math rock post-punk genres. Check out Eschaton, though, probably my favorite Zool band of all time, if you know the subcategory of Zool. Yeah. Prog Slop is a cum stack for sure. If you go to progarchives.com, that's the ultimate cum stack. Oh yeah, I was going to feed my cat. 1 second. I'm just going to do this one pose and then I'm going to feed my cat. If Newgrounds changes the interface and also adds kid-friendly tunes, it could be the Netflix of animation. Yes, I think so. Whenever I mention a rug pull to other Blender users, they freak out, but something seems to be brewing. Just keep at least 2 installs at all time. There does seem to be something brewing, but hopefully it's not real. But there's a disturbance in the Blender. Something is going on. Like, something doesn't feel quite right. I can feel the corporate shenanigans. Something's going on at Blender HQ. Something unsavory. I did donate. I donated to Blender last night, actually. I gave them 25 buckaroos. I'm just gonna leave this. Alright, save my work. Oh. Alright, I gotta feed my cat some slop. I'll be back in like 3 minutes. BRB. Feeding cat. Okay, never mind. My cat went outside. People. Thoughts on They Might Be Giants? They got a song called Mammals that's been stuck in my head for years, and I always thought it was made by Ween. Okay, here's how I feel about They Might Be Giants. I think They Might Be Giants has some really good songs. And then they've got some stuff that's just like family slop. I think when they got a real drummer, they stopped being like edgy and they turned into like just like middle of the road library weak sauce indie safe music or something. Anything from the album Henry and on, it's bad. But the albums Lincoln, Flood, Apollo 18 are mostly bangers. I think like Birdhouse in Your Soul is like an amazing song. Birdhouse in Your Soul? Birdhouse in My Soul? Forget. It's an incredible song. I think Anna Ing is an amazing song. Oh, there's a bunch of good songs on Flood. There's a bunch of good songs on Lincoln. Some of the stuff is a little too dorky for me. I love that song, The Statue Got Me High. Yeah, they've got some bangers. But then when they got a real drummer, it like they like took the edge off. Like I think using a drum machine made them sound like there was like an optimism in the 80s like about the future, and I think and like sort of like a new wave art rock punk kind of thing, and them having a drum machine put them in that same category of being sort of avant-garde. And then you take away the drum machine and then they just become bare naked ladies basically. It's like immediately changes the aesthetics. I don't know, something that it contextualizes them into bland college rock in the worst way, like Tiva wearing frisbee golf bullshit. Yeah, but Death Grips is like different kind of music. Like They Might Be Giants rides that line between being actually like artistic and then becoming bare naked ladies, you know? It's like right on the line. And they have to like ride that line, and the drum machine was keeping them from turning into bare naked ladies, which is what they turned into. Flaming Lips. I think Flaming Lips are great. I don't listen to them that much, but I used to love Soft Bulletin. I used to listen to that album all the time. And Yoshimi and Embryonic is a really good album. But I haven't kept up with them. Word. That's my thoughts on They Might Be Giants. But the early stuff is classic 80s alternative. 120 minutes programming. I might be giants, could be. You've never seen me in real life, so I could be 8 feet tall for all you know. Alright, let's find some other panels to clean up. Until my cat comes by and asks me to give her some food. My last drip of Celsius. All right. Do you think Do You Realize is the greatest song ever written? No, but it's a good song. I like that song. What's going on here? Camera. I think all this stuff looks fine. Do. I think I could redo this drawing. This is pretty ugly. Am I an energy drinks guy? Yes. I drink a Celsius every day, pretty much. For better or for worse. Did you like Nirvana? Yes, Nirvana. I'm old enough to have been very affected by Nirvana. I remember when Smells Like Teen Spirit played on MTV, and like contextually, I think I was in middle school, and at that time it was like I was typing about Birdhouse in Your Soul, and I didn't realize my brother talking to me, and he told me I'm a hypocrite because apparently I told him who type in Twitch chats are not real and need to be executed. Someone come take me out. Anyway, you mentioned Birdhouse in Your Soul healed me because nobody I knows that song. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's a great song. So I was in middle school when Smells Like Teen Spirit came out, and at that point in time, it was, I think it was like, if I can think back that far, it was like Bobby Brown, Belle Biv DeVoe, like what other rock music was happening at the time? I mean, there were like alternative bands, but nothing was breaking. Like I would listen to, there was this college radio station near me called WDRE. That was Widener's radio station, and they would play stuff like Guar and the Dead Kennedys, and stuff like that. And I remember hearing like King Missile and Ministry and Primus at that time, but that was all like freak alternative music. And when but everyone else around me was listening to like I wanna sex you up, you know, like that kind of stuff. It was like pop, like Guido Chess King Z Cavaricci's like pop, like MC Hammer and shit. It was like MC Hammer, bad fucking hip hop, Vanilla Ice. It was like all that kind of shit. And if you wanted to listen to rock music, you were listening to stuff from like years ago, like Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd and stuff like that. There was no, that I can think of, there was no like new rock bands that were doing anything interesting. So when I mean there were rock, it's weird because there was like this whole thing like 120 minutes and heavy Headbangers Ball and stuff like that on MTV late at night. So I would watch stuff like Slayer videos and like Pantera and stuff like that, and like Judas Priest and stuff, but for some reason it didn't clock as like that stuff wasn't breaking through to the kids around me, you know. So when Nirvana happened, I felt like something really big was happening. It felt like the world was changing. It's crazy. Like seeing that video, the Smells Like Teen Spirit video, I literally remember going to school the next day and talking to my friends about it. And being like, did you see this thing, this band Nirvana? This song called Smells Like Teen Spirit? You know? And then overnight, kids were wearing like flannel tied around their waist and stuff. So Nirvana was a big deal for me. What genre of music are you? Prog. Did you ever get that personalized business card shaped USB that got thrown out to the writers and storyboarders around the wrap of AT? No. What? I don't even know what that is. But it's funny because now I look back on that era of like 90s pop music, and I used to hate it when I was a kid. I hated that era of music. Like I just would sit around being like, this shit fucking sucks. You know? And now I'm like, I hear that stuff, I'm like, not so bad, you know? Like Belle Biv DeVoe and stuff like that. I'm like, I've got like rose tinted glasses about that era of production. Oh yeah, King Crimson. I forgot to put King Crimson on the GOAT list. King Crimson, every King Crimson album is good. Pretty much. My favorites being Lark's Tongue and Aspic, Red, Starless and Bible Black. I saw King Crimson play like 4 or 5 years ago. The 80s King Crimson for me is like musically, I would love to listen to just instrumental versions of all those songs, but I can't take the singing. I can't take the David Byrne impression from what's his name, the guitar guy. What's that guy's name? I forget. I can't do it with the David Byrne impression. And the lyrics are stupid. But musically, those albums are fucking off the chain. Off the chain? It's super sick. Any other band you knew when it was small now? I mean, I think it's, I don't know, not really. I don't think so. I can't think of anything that like I would listen to back then that blew up. Maybe I could think about it. There might be something when I saw them when they were not famous. I'm sure I did, but I can't think of it. I just think it was a bad move that they decided to impersonate the Talking Heads. I do wish I had gone to Lollapalooza in 1994. That's like a regret of mine of like, I had friends who went and I didn't go, and I should have gone. In the early 2000s, I saw lots of like underground bands, but they never, most of them never blew up. I guess I was friends with the Dr. Dog guys, but they didn't get like huge. They got like NPR huge, I guess you could say. Tiny Desk huge. I don't know if Dr. Dog ever did a Tiny Desk. Thoughts on Smashing Pumpkins? Gonna sound lame, but I found out about them last week. I used to have a tape. I remember my neighbor Ryan Gagliardi gave me a tape of one side was Smashing Pumpkins Gish, and the other side was the Dead Milkmen Metaphysical Graffiti. And I used to listen to that tape all the time, and Gish sounded like something out of just like a mysterious ether, like it was like being channeled out of like some mystical alternative cool dimension, and it evoked so much in my imagination. I used to like listen to Gish a lot when I was in middle school, and then they kind of blew up with Siamese Dream, and I remember later thinking Smashing Pumpkins were lame, and then years later I kind of came back and was like, okay, Gish, Siamese Dream, and Melancholy are really good albums. That's my conclusion about Smashing Pumpkins, regardless of Billy Corgan's personality. It's funny you said that in the 90s there wasn't the rock band until Nirvana, since now it's so easy to find that stuff. There's tons of amazing early 90s rock. Yeah, there's so many amazing early, I mean, the Pixies, the Melvins, you know, there was always great 90s rock. They just didn't, like, it's like all I had was the radio and MTV, you know, so it was like I couldn't find out about these cool bands in the 90s. I had to see it on MTV, you know. There was no internet. What's my opinion on the Violent Femmes? I think that first album is iconic, and then everything after that is I feel like I just can't care about it. Does that make sense? But when I was in middle school, that first Violent Femmes album was fucking super formative. I remember a bunch of summers just like kids blasting Violent Femmes and you know, just like dancing around in yards. Violent Femmes, yeah. But I don't know. I've had friends over the years who like their other albums, but I can't get into it. Did you get into prog only when you were an adult, or was it? I got into prog. So I was like, when I was growing up, I liked alternative bands like Nirvana and Violent Femmes and stuff like that, and then I got really into hardcore punk in high school. Hardcore punk, anything like the Dead Kennedys or Minor Threat, stuff like that. So I was only listening to like hardcore and punk for like the next 5, 6 years. And I would go to punk shows in Philadelphia, and I played in a punk band called Anal Sausage. And what happened was, oh, I also really loved Primus. I was like obsessed with Primus. And my friend Nate, I remember, oh yeah, and I also really liked Frank Zappa that whole time. I would listen to Frank Zappa and hardcore punk. That was sort of like my, uh, and my friend Nate, I remember he loved Primus and he was a bass player, so he like basically tried to play like Les Claypool. And I remember somehow he got into King Crimson. And I remember we would drive in the car and he would put on King Crimson. And I was like, this is cool. But it didn't click for me until I decided I didn't want to go to hardcore punk shows anymore. And then I started I started listening to more King Crimson. Oh yeah, and I got into the Ruins. So I got into like Japanese noise music, like the Boredoms and the Ruins. And I found out that the Ruins were heavily influenced by Magma. And so I started listening to Magma. And then I was working at this box folding company, and one of the guys who worked there was this guy, Jim Winters, who was a guitarist, and he played guitar in Earth Crisis, this like New York hardcore punk band, and some other Philly hardcore bands. But he was super into prog and prog metal. So he introduced me to Voivod and um, and Cynic, which were like prog metal bands. And then um, we would just talk about prog rock. I don't know. And then I just got, oh yeah, and then I just got I got introduced to that website, Prog Archives, and I just started reading all the Prog Archives reviews and like checking out prog bands. And then I met this guy named Mike Parker, who introduced me to like Henry Cow and stuff like that. So that's how that. It's just basically by hanging out in the Philadelphia music scene, I learned about prog rock. That was in my early 20s, like around 23 or something like that. Because Philly had like a weird art rock scene in the early 2000s. And like the thing they called like the freak folk scene or whatever, like the whole like Devendra Banhart kind of thing. And that was like vaguely prog related. Do I like the Mars Volta? Not really. I mean, I think the Mars Volta are like an interesting spectacle, and I think it's cool that they were doing that, but I can't listen to it. I don't find it like it's like too sloppy for me. But I respect it, I guess. It's just not my taste, I guess. But I like that the Mars Volta existed. Alright, they are definitely hella chaotic. They are one of my faves. Yeah, I've watched like I can sit and watch like a Mars Volta live performance and be pretty like impressed by it, but I just wouldn't put them on, you know. What does or doesn't make good music? It's like completely subjective. There's no such thing as I don't think there's such a thing as good music. There's only like your subjective experience of what you think is good. I can describe what I think is good music, but it doesn't, you know, it's just a taste thing. There's no like objective rubric for what makes good music. Or bad music. What's my favorite band of all time? I used to say the Beach Boys, but I don't think it is anymore. I don't think I have a favorite band. I gotta be honest, I listen to a lot of Blonde Redhead these days. I like always put them on. I don't know if that's like not cool or if that's all right, but I do listen to a lot of Blonde Redhead. Um, any current band I like? I like Fievel is Glauk. I like Knower. Knower? Um, What else do I like? Bible's Glauc. Glauc. Um, I haven't really listened to their full album, but that duo Domi and whatever, it's like a keyboardist and a drummer. I was talking to them about them on Discord today. I think they're pretty cool. I don't have anything by them. I don't own anything by them. My friend Mike sends me stuff. The guy who introduced me to prog, he sends me stuff that's like happening in the prog world, and some of it I like, but I can't remember any of it. I haven't like really glommed onto anything. How's my weight loss gym journey going? Not good. I've sort of fallen off the wagon for the past 2 weeks. I gotta get my act together. I kind of hit a wall. Ichiko Aoba was magical in person, but I also was stoned, which probably heightened the experience. Any thoughts on Black Box Recorder? I've never heard Black Box Recorder. I don't know Kokonoku, and I don't know Zolinki. Consume the gym slop. I know. I gotta get my shit together. I really slipped. I fell off the wagon with my correct eating. I think I got like, I don't know, I hit like a wave of kind of dark, pretty depressed. I think I'm still in it, actually. I kind of like cycled into being depressed. And it kind of affected me, my eating. I think I've been kind of like down and out for like 3 or 4 weeks. It's kind of been kind of bad. Yeah. It's not the worst it's ever been, but it's been kind of throwing me off. Yeah. I go through waves. There's always something. I've always got something going on with my emotional roller coaster. And it's not a roller coaster, it's like my dips. I go through dips. Yeah. It has a lot to do with, because I kind of mask it by working really hard and like always making things, and I kind of just like cover up what's going on with me emotionally by just like blocking it out and working a lot. And then eventually just kind of catches up to me for spells. So I don't know what to do about that, really. I can't really afford a therapist right now, so I'm just solo fucking grinding it. What do you call it? Raw dogging it. Do you feel like you get very avoidant and push people away? No, not really. I try to. One of the things that's helps me is hanging out with people, hanging out with friends. So I try to hang out with friends. It's not too bad. It's just like I fall into my old habits I start to feel down, and then I can't sleep, and I start eating bad, and I don't know. I get into like bad life habits, basically. Luckily, I don't do fucking heroin. Right? You know what I mean? I don't have like a drug problem or anything. It's just more like I don't know. I get like, I don't know what to call it, like mentally sort of gray or whatever, you know? So it gets hard to, it becomes difficult for me to start to motivate myself and put effort into, cleaning the house and uh, fucking, I don't know, eating right. And then I just like turn into a frazzled goblin in my house. And then I go outside and like the sunlight shocks me. I'm like, kind of like that. That's sort of where I hover around that sort of zone. And then luckily for me, coping mechanism for depression is making stuff, being creative. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get my shit together starting tomorrow. Starting tomorrow. I thought about starting smoking. I thought about taking up smoking cigarettes. I think that would be kind of fun. That would be a really bad. That would be a really bad decision, I think. Yeah. Oh, there's my cat. Oh, 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 oh. You want some more snackies? All right, 1 second, please. I think you should restart your sleep schedule. Bad sleep puts me into episodes. It's the #1 factor. I know everyone's. Yeah, I know. I was trying to reset my sleep by taking like Advil PMs, but I can't. I don't know how many days in a row I can do that. I've thought about doing cocaine because I think I think I would love cocaine. So I've never done it because of that reason. Because I think I would have a problem with it. I've been going to sleep at like 4 in the morning. There's a stress relief vape. Fishing and hiking. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Don't sleep until 8 p.m. Try to restart it. Wait, go to sleep at 8 p.m.? I'd cry if I had to go to sleep at 8 p.m. Alright. I'll be right back. My cat wants her churros. I've seen a video of someone smoking some kind of dried flower that wasn't weed. It might be better than cigarettes. I thought about getting weed gummies. Because last time I had a weed gummy, it was pretty fun. I got some grapes. Nature's dessert. All-nighters are the only way I've been able to consistently fix my sleep. Yeah, edibles. Favorite cookies? Chocolate chip. Classic. Nothing better than a chocolate chip cookie. The right dosage of a weed gummy can just like chill you out really hard. If you take too much, it can be a nightmare. So you just have to take a low dose. Oh man. You can enjoy a movie and feel really fucking satisfied. Do I allow myself a cheat day? I usually try not to do cheat days because it just reminds me of how much I love fucking pizza. Chocolate chip cookies are a cookie slop? Get out of here. What do you like? A peanut butter fucking cookie? Fuck that shit. You like Girl Scout cookies? Fuck that shit. Mint, whatever cookies? Fuck that shit. Chocolate chip cookies, only good cookie. Now I want a chocolate chip cookie. I took a high dose and felt like I was stuck doing backwards rolls, and then I ate a whole pizza that came right back up. Oh, that fucking sucks. Do it every Friday. Eat Burger King or Taco Bell, high protein. That sounds good. I hate Taco Bell though. Quit smoking so much weed recently because it was making my sleep worse, and also my... Yeah, I heard weed can kind of make your sleep not good. So if I have a hard time with sleep, but the thing about weed for me, I I only smoke weed like once a year or something like that. But like weed helps me stop my like looping thoughts. So it basically turns me into an idiot. And then I can just slow my brain down and be like, I want to just go to bed. You know, I stop worrying about the world, what's happening in the world. So it's kind of helps me, but um, I don't use weed hardly ever because it puts me in that state where I don't want to do anything, and I need to stay on top of my shit, so I can't. You know what I mean? I only do it if I have got no plans, where I'm like, I'm not doing anything today. I'm just gonna sit on the couch and watch a movie and play video games barely. You know, that's sort of. Or if I'm gonna go to a barbecue or something. Subway makes the best cookie on earth, and it's an oatmeal raisin. Fuck that. What are you talking about? Oatmeal raisin? What are you, a grandma? Fuck oatmeal raisin cookies. If I accidentally bite an oatmeal raisin cookie thinking it's going to be a chocolate chip cookie, I get so pissed. Oatmeal raisin. More like. Potato recipes and bread. Popeyes is my cheat place. Or sushi. I feel like sushi is barely cheating. Sushi is like, you can get away, you can be on a diet and get away with eating sushi for sure. As long as you don't go to an all-you-can-eat sushi place. And just go ape shit. White chocolate chip cookie is good, yes. Also, I can accept a, like, Butterfinger style cookie. Whatever that stuff is called, the orange crackle stuff. Oh, M&M cookie, also good. But that's basically a chocolate chip cookie. Um, I used to draw high a little bit here and there, but I find that weed just makes me sleepy and not want to think or do anything. So it's kind of anti-productive for me. So that's why I kind of stopped doing it for years now. I'm so afraid of women. Fuck my chud life. I got no advice for you, my friend. Because I'm in a very similar boat. I once knew a classmate who used to do sausage flavor cookies. He was his dying hill to convince everyone that the best thing. I mean, that's sweet and savory. I could understand that. Like, it's the same thing as eating sausage with pancakes, right? For breakfast, you get the savory, you get the sweet. Makes sense. Cookie sausage, that makes sense. I would try that maybe. I met a girl who was so hot I got scared and preemptively blocked her. Scared of what? What are you scared of? Well, I don't understand. I guess we're gonna talk about it, Cinco Binko. What are you scared of, my guy? You're scared you're gonna have be exposed and like be embarrassed or something? Like fear of rejection kind of thing? Oops. I think, yes, I think so. She was terrifying anyways. Terrifying? What do you mean terrifying? I don't understand. Terrifying. What's terrifying? And also, how old are you? Are you like in high school? uh, y'all gonna go to Cookie Hell for your sin. Where's Cookie Jesus when we need him? I'm 35. I don't know what came over me. I've dated. Oh, so it's like a new thing. You like, you got the yips, as they call it in sports, right? Is that what you're saying? You know, when a figure skater has an accident and then they can't skate anymore. Or a gymnast has an accident. That happened to one of those Olympic gymnasts this past year. They got the yips, apparently. Maybe I think the chemistry was so overwhelming it shut down and shit my pants. Was she talking to you? I don't know where this is going. I feel like there's some part of your story that's missing. Yes, that's a problem. She was talking to you. and you felt too intimidated, like you were gonna screw it up, so then you screwed it up. Well, I'm sorry that happened, but you could always unblock her or whatever. Dum dum. I basically have lost interest in dating. Um, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm done. I'm fucking done. So that's where I am. I'm in like a dark place with that kind of stuff. Um, I'm basically waiting for like a sign from God. That's what it's gonna take for me to give a shit about dating ever again. I'm pretty like doomed out about it. Pretty Woman is scary. I don't know what that. I don't know where you're coming. I don't know where you're coming from with that. I mean, if you find Pretty Women scary, then just don't date. Just date some not pretty girl, pretty women. I guess, you know. I mean, you just have, you know, you have. I used to have this feeling. I mean, when I was young, when I was like in high school, I used to have this, you know, if I was attracted to somebody, I would feel like so much emotional. There was so much at stake that if we ever got together, I would just like jump out of a window. I used to have this image in my head, like if a girl ever kissed me, I would jump off a balcony out of like some anime reaction, you know, incel anime reaction. Um, but that never happened. I never jumped out of a window or a balcony off a balcony. So I think you're building it too much up in your head. I don't know. Maybe you have like PTSD from a past relationship or something. I didn't start dating until I was in my early 20s, like 20, I think like 22 or 23. Because I was so fucking paranoid. I don't date because I'm just not interested in people. Well, you might be somewhat interested in people because you're on Twitch, like watching streams, you know? So in some regard, you're like interested in the human experience, like listening and talking to people, interacting. So I think you are interested in people. Maybe. But dating is hard. I don't know. Dating is difficult. You have to. I don't know. He got me. I don't know. I find dating to be too difficult. I don't want to deal with it. I'd rather just draw and hang out with friends. Hang out with my cat, play video games. Live my, I call it true detective existence. You need a life coach. Yeah, I need a life coach bad. Because I know everything I'm saying right now is fucked up. But I don't know. I think dating currently is like really fucked. The culture surrounding dating is like, I don't know. At least where I live, it's fucked up. No bueno. But I think if a girl you're attracted to is chatting you up online, you shouldn't block her. That's crazy, man. uh, yeah, mingling is bad right now. It's not good. I don't know. I missed out on my like my life as a teen was literally just hoarding my friends and playing punk music and drawing comics and going bridge jumping in quarries and stuff like that. And I had a pretty fun childhood, teenage childhood without dating. So I do have regrets about like, okay, I was too scared to talk to this girl or whatever, but yeah, I think relationships are super transactional these days. It's actually like kind of really fucked. It's kind of fucked how transactional dating is. It's kind of it's dark. I don't know how that became a thing, but that's definitely the vibes I get. Nice try. Okay, Titus. I'm not gonna post that one. transactional being like transactional meaning like what can you do for me? I think because we're living in this like post social media world where there's so much sort of like almost like therapy coded self-help um like I'm gonna drop my friend. I'll drop my friends at any moment, kind of thing, because they're toxic, like that kind of thing. There's no loyalty or like we've developed this like culture of what can you do for me kind of thing, and like how many lists. What are your red flags? Like how many lists? How many things can you check off on my list of things I need from somebody else? And it becomes like really almost like yeah, business transaction between two people like doing a trade deal or something. Um, I don't know. And then I end up in the dating scene. End up talking to a lot of like divorced ladies, and um, the ones I meet are like a lot of times they're like coping. They're just like alcoholics, basically. That's the ones I meet. I don't know. Uh, so maybe I've got too many red flags. I don't know. But I'm just like, this isn't worth it to me. I'm just gonna make art. Yeah, I think Empire being in decline, it being so different, it's becoming like so expensive to live now, and I think people are worried. So everyone's like trying to find the mate. It definitely is a byproduct of like end stage capitalism, I think. Seems like everyone's like worried about survival so much that it really stops being about like following your dreams and meeting your soulmate, you know, or whatever. Like the romantic notions, it's just like what do you put on what are you putting on the table, you know? Yeah, I think it like closely aligns with stuff like 10 years ago when I started hearing people referring to themselves as allies and stuff like that. Like it all kind of like ties together with this like sort of transactional friendship, transactional relationship kind of thing. What did I do versus what do you do? You know, just like such a harsh pressure to deal with. Like it really gives people low self-esteem, I think. Yeah, it makes it tough to date, I think. At least online. I don't know, but you can I think you can kind of circumvent all that kind of stuff just by being um I think charming, you know. um I think you can be a big loser and be charming and not have a problem dating. I think I'm just so jaded from the transactional edge of millennial romantic relationships that I'm instinctively cutting off this girl despite her being very genuine and open. Dude, I mean, at least you're able to like, at least you're able to recognize that. So if you can recognize that on a stream in comments, you know that about yourself. So that's the first step to change, you know? So what you could do is unblock this girl, and hopefully she didn't notice that you blocked her because it just happened like yesterday or something. Unblock her right now, man. After living with my bestie, I'm a bit scared to ever live with a man, but it was also an overstimulating situation with sweaty weather. What was overstimulating? Yeah, people are trying to be perfect. That's a huge problem. I think we're moving away from this idea of being perfect online and all that kind of stuff. I think that the pendulum is swaying. Oh, you said something stupid. Uh-oh. Well, you think you can't come back from it? Good spiders in the room. What would you rather have, spiders or AC? I tried to be perfect on my first impression, but in my head I'm like, when do we skip the NPC cutscenes and be real? Yeah, it's hard not to try to like... It's hard to be... If you go on a date or something, it's hard to be your true self. Because you want to like... I mean, it's like a mating ritual, you know? So you're gonna like present your best self or whatever, best version of yourself. And hope they accept your real self later. That's just, I don't know. I don't know how to circumvent that sort of problem. What we got here? Do I need to redo all these drawings? I don't know. Maybe. Why not? I've got nothing else to do. I don't think I can come back from what I said. Uh-oh. Well, don't tell us what you said, because I don't want to fucking... You know what I mean? We can just imagine. But you could come back and you could say, hey, I was afraid of rejection so much that I tried to self-sabotage. I tried to sabotage myself, and I did, and I fucked up. You know, you could do that. You could be like super honest and see what she says. You might not, you might not be able to come back from it, but you can take a swing. You've already like forced rejection already, so you want to You might as well just try to apologize and tell her what was going on. Be vulnerable, you know? Come on, man. You're 35. You can do it, man. Yeah, okay. Well, if you rejected her, then you can be like, I don't know, man. Are you making this up, bro? Sorry, Buffano, you got botted. I haven't dated since I was 32. You're 35, so that's 3 years. I haven't dated in 2 years. It's been 2 years for me. The best thing to do is present your true self immediately. If you don't want to, dude, 3 years, you gotta shoot your shot, man. You know. Yeah, genuine apology. Tell her you were scared. Tell her how you feel, man. Tell her how you feel, bro. Uh, I think we have to learn that some people won't give you closure no matter how sincere your apology is. Yeah, but that's okay. You tried. It's better to do that than do something mean and never say anything and just be a coward, you know? No, I don't mean to call you a coward, but do something cowardly? I don't know. What's an important lesson I've learned from dating? Sometimes, okay, one thing I've learned is that compromising isn't isn't a big deal. Isn't as big of a deal as you think it is in the moment. And sometimes things that feel like a threat to your very being are actually you're like building it up in your own head. Uh that's sort of like a lesson, I guess. Also, I think to be healthy in a relationship, you have to like yourself. You have to have decent self-esteem. I think low self-esteem is like a recipe for disaster. Someone boring that you get along with is golden. I don't know. I don't think a person has to be boring or not boring. I think they just have to like. I think whoever you're with, you both have to sort of like accept each other for who you have to be honest about who you are, and you have to accept the other person for who they are, and um, not want them to be someone else. I think. Yeah, do something about it, man. I think it's really bad to take someone on as a project. I think that's like terrible. Mm. I am on a dating app, and like there's this like expectation to be there's an expectation to be exciting for sure. The girls ask for that. They're like, I want someone to go on adventures with, like that kind of stuff, and someone who can make me laugh, all this kind of stuff, and like basically like a Peter Pan. And I just look at that and I get fucking exhausted. No, I'm on Raya. It's basically just like Pokemon. Like, gotta collect them all, basically. You match with someone and then you never talk to them. That's how Raya is. Which is cool. It's like playing a video game. Raya is a little bit fancy. I was on Hinge a little bit, and it felt like I was on a dating app for Resident Evil or something. It was fucking gnarly, dude. I don't know what Hinge's algorithm was hitting me with the fucking gnarliest zombies, ghouls. Um, just people who looked like they were living like sleeping on their bathroom floor. You know, that's like their bedroom is their bathroom floor. Uh, I don't think I'm a boring person. I just want to constantly learn about stuff. Like I like listening to people talk about their lives, story. I don't have much crazy story to return. I don't know. It's all types in the world, all types of people in the world. You know. I think. I don't know how to talk about this stuff optimistically because I think we're kind of cooked. Be passport ready and let's eat at every restaurant and go to every concert. Yeah, that's exhausting as fuck, dude. You meet someone like that, they're like, I don't know. I don't know. I can't hang with that shit. I like going to concerts and traveling like maybe like once a year, maybe once every 2 years. But being like, yeah, Coachella daddy is fucking fucked up. That's why if I see a girl, if I see a profile of a girl at like, and her profile picture is her at Burning Man, I'm like, skip, you know? Going to the park. I like going to the park and having picnics and things like that. That's cool. There's a picnic spot in LA I like to go to. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Thoughts on feeding pigeons? Like in Mary Poppins? Feed the birds. I like feeding ducks. I mean, the people who travel 20 times a year, I'm glad they find each other. That's cool, you know? But what are they running from? That's kind of what that's my question. I mean, are you not driven and intense? Yeah, what's the deal, man? Is it just physical attraction? Remember when Mary Poppins was God in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen Century? I didn't see League of Extraordinary Gentlemen Century. His muscles all fucked up. Is that Alan Moore? I'm afraid and jaded. What are you jaded about? What made you jaded? I'm jaded as fuck. Jesus. Alright, let's see what I can do here. Wait a minute. Jesse and everyone else who lives in LA, how's the rent over there? Rent is very expensive. Harry Potter was also the Antichrist in the same story, and it was made by Alan Moore. That's interesting. Did Alan Moore have the rights to, maybe it's like parody law or something? Well, this is going to be scooching in. This is going to be scooching in. Is that scooching in shot just the chest like its frame there? I don't know what you're asking. I've been apartment hunting in Toronto and I think the rent prices went down because people can't afford it. Is it the same in LA? I don't know. I haven't been apartment hunting, so... Basically trapped in my house because my landlords don't really raise my rent too much. The fuck? The frame cuts off at the chin. Are you using that line or not? Frame cuts off at the chin. Oh, it's gonna zoom. More. In. 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 Rent control. I don't know. Rent control. Yeah, I don't have rent control, but my landlords just like me, I guess. Oops. Entire season of Jesus 2 when? Not for a while. I'm working on it though. The fuck? Okay. Try this again. Copy. My ex has an apartment in Echo Park. Her tenants will probably die in those units because they were there before she bought the building. One guy was paying like $400 a month. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, I'm paying, my rent is fucking astronomical. Did I live in New York for a bit? Yeah, I lived in New York for about a year. See a sort of salt. I'm working on fractal sequences. I'm working on some Jesus 2 shorts right now. 3 Jesus 2 like mini-sodes. But not a series at the moment. Because I need to get greenlit for a series, basically. I lived in New York in like 1998. And then I dated some ladies in New York in the early 2000s. So I would go up there all the time. So I kind of was like splitting my time between Philadelphia and New York for a while. Chinatown bus. Do I feel like I'm living one try away from living a life of comfort once something takes off? Theoretically, yeah. I lived in pre 9/11 New York. It was fun, exciting, dangerous. very cultural. I don't know. Just like lots of fun shit, interesting shit going on all the time. Basically. Was it cheap too? Yeah, it was relatively cheap. I remember, so I went to Pratt Institute in Brooklyn, and I remember some kids got killed on campus, like right outside of campus. So, you know, it was like that. Everyone I knew who lived in New York for longer than, you know, 5 years got mugged, basically. Or during that era of New York. Yeah, New York stopped being sort of like an interesting place to me around 2000. I don't know, around the time I left Philadelphia, around 2008, 2009. Like New York started to seem less and less interesting as like a cultural center. Live music is still insane in New York. That's good to know. Yeah, I wasn't in LA for the heyday of like places like the Smell and stuff like that. I went to the Smell once. Um, which was cool. My mom's friend was going to visit the Twin Towers on 9/11. They went in the morning but was too busy, so they left, and we're going to go later that day, and then you know. That's good fortune. Glad your mom's friend is okay. Lodge Room is the new Heat venue in LA. Is it? That's good to know. I go to Zebulon sometimes. Maybe I should get on the Lodge Room's mailing list. I met a Prague guy at a party, and we're supposed to hang out and go to Prague shows together, but he hasn't texted me yet. So I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe I'll text him and be like, any Prague shows coming up? You think Zebulon's day has passed? Oh, okay. Good to know. They're not curating good shows there anymore? Hmm. 3 a.m. Alright, go to bed. Take it easy. All I know is in March I had gone a whole year without going. Yeah, I mean, I haven't gone to a show at Zebulon in a long time. I haven't gone to any shows, so I'm not really a show-going guy these days, although I would. Wait, the Lodge Room, is that in Highland Park? I think I saw Jonathan Richman there last year. Maybe it was the last show I went to. That shit was awesome. Fix your schedules. Yeah, Highland. Okay, yeah, I've been to the Lodge Room a few times for some shows. It's a cool spot. Getting sloppy here. Are you going to do more panels for Jesus 2? More panels? What do you mean panels? Like in conventions. Oh, yeah, maybe if I get to if I get to make more episodes of Jesus 2. I mean, I'm making these shorts, but I don't know if they're like, I don't know. It depends on what Animation Plus wants to do. If they want to put me on some panels, I'll do them. I'm getting really loosey-goosey with my anatomy here. $20, 2,200 Arts and Archive. Yeah, I've been there also. A long time ago. Yeah, Animation Plus would have to ask me to do Jesus 2 panels, I think. I don't know. I don't know if Animation Plus went to Comic-Con this year or not. So I just gotta do one, two, three more drawings, really. Alright, so I'll do 3 more drawings and call it. Fucking hell. Marry while you're young, because as you get older, you become wiser, and wise people don't marry. Agatha Christie. Oh, shit. It's the curse of getting older. I didn't know Agatha Christie had relationship problems. Focused. Romance is just love slop. Perhaps, perhaps. Alright, I think I'm running out of juice. I can't do these last two drawings. I'm fucking done. I'm fucking done, bro. Fucking hit my wall, bro. Sometimes it's harder to cross the finish line when someone is touching your PB. I don't know what you mean by that, my friend. I don't know what you mean by that. Alright, you guys. We're crossing the finish line of the stream. Everybody have a good night. Bye.